Hi guys, Micro here. This is my Quest for Survival Hardcore Iron Man series and we're on episode 20 now. As you can guess by the title, I gun out so many requirements and everything for Prif, so let's get into this video straight away. Doing a Black Demon task, I managed to get 75 Slayer. That unlocked Gargoyles. With Gargoyles I should be able to get loads and loads of resources and GP to supply everything I need for Prif. So now it's time to just get a couple of requirements and go do some of those. The first thing that's so useful with Gargoyles is the instant killing blows. So I spent 400 Slayer points to learn how to deliver killing blows quicker, which is definitely an amazing investment, especially with the amount of Gargoyles I plan on doing. I also had to buy a rock hammer. I put the rock hammer on my tool belt so it doesn't take up any inventory room at all, and then the instant killing blows will sort out everything I need for Gargoyles. The last thing I needed was a gem bag, so I just had to go and do a little tiny bit of dungeoneering. It was only a couple of floors, so I just done a couple of solo floors on my Iron Man, because obviously you can only do solo. Running around, just clearing the rooms, it was pretty straightforward and easy. I think it took me 2 floors and I had it, so not very long at all, and I was able to buy the gem bag as it's only 2,000 points and it's an amazing investment. I don't have to upgrade it yet because they don't really drop dragon stones and stuff. By the time I get to things like Abyssal Demons, I'll have to upgrade the gem bag. But for now, the 2001 works perfectly. Remember, when going to Gargoyles, pick up a Slayer assignment before going into the Slayer Tower. If you pick up the Slayer assignment to kill 200, it will give you some nice experience or GP, whatever you prefer. Gargoyles is just all round amazing. They give you a lot of gems for the future. They give you lots of experience and GP an hour. Not to mention all of the Mortmire fungi and bars they give is pretty damn awesome. The mithril bars will come in really handy when I make mithril minotaurs in order to get 75 summoning for Prif, so that's a really good reason to do these. And then obviously all of the money alongside that is definitely going to help out with summoning and maybe the last level or 2 of construction. Would definitely recommend doing Gargoyles when you hit 75 Slayer if you did need some extra money to push you along towards any goals you have on your Iron Man. I did some shifting tombs with some friends for construction and prayer experience. I was pleasantly surprised with the experience rates that shifting tombs actually offered on an Iron Man at level 70. Level 70 obviously unlocks the tier 2 experience rates. I was getting around 50 to 60k experience in prayer and in construction. That's not too bad considering I don't have to spend any money for either of them, and it's quite enjoyable doing this. On top of all of that, you get all of the camouflage fragments for the elite set. This is the fastest way to get those, so that's definitely going to help out in the future when I get invention. That outfit can be really annoying to grind out sometimes, but if I'm getting a ton of fragments here, it will definitely boost me along my way, as doing it outside of shifting tombs takes absolutely forever to get a piece. Plus it gets you doing stuff with a couple of friends and things. Iron Men being able to do shifting tombs now is definitely an awesome step in the right direction. I found the tier 82 offhand. I've got the tier 82 offhand. I think I got it last one. I didn't even notice because we're just going straight back in. Because in my chat, it says you find an offhand Mena fight Kopesh. And then it says chest objective complete. Yeah, offhand tier 82. While doing some Gargoyles for some money and some bars and such, I done all of the contracts I could. Trading in this contract for range got me to 75 range, which is another Prif requirement ticked off at the same time as making money for summoning. Another contract after that got me to 75 strength. 75 strength is a requirement for the Lord of Vampirium, so I've also got that ticked off. Lord of Vampirium will be the quest I will go for after Prif. With all of those mithril bars that I farmed from doing Gargoyles and tons of money now, I went back to train some summoning. Mithril Minotaurs give so much experience, it's unreal. I managed to get 70 summoning super quickly with these Mithril Minotaurs. Then I carried on doing them all the way to 74 summoning. At 74 summoning, I ran out of blue charms, so it was the perfect opportunity for me to make some bunyip pouches. I have about 600 raw sharks that I'm going to use into bunyip pouches. I really like bunyip as a familiar before you get a pack yak and stuff. So I'm going to be using a ton of bunyips while doing Slayer, while doing quests, things like that. So it's worth me stocking up on tons of different pouches for bunyips to use. And eventually if I don't actually use up them all, I can just disassemble them for invention anyway. Bunyips got me all the way to 75, which is another Prif requirement ticked off. I just need Herblore, Prayer and Construction to go. It was time to start the long quest grind for Prith. I did 2 easy ones to start, that was Temple of Ikov and Catapult Construction. Nice easy ones to start off. It does get a little bit more annoying when I get to like Morning's End and stuff, but the actual elf storyline isn't that bad in my opinion. I don't actually mind doing the quests for Prith. Just gotta keep prodding him. Bah! This is like my favourite quest in RuneScape. Gotta feed them and kill them all. This quest is actually kind of funny because they legit just flop when you give them the food. RuneScape does make some weird and wacky quests. It makes the grind a little bit more bearable. I got all the sheep bones. Sorry sheep bones, I gotta incinerate you. Sheep herder quest is now done. 4 quest points for such an easy quest is pretty awesome. I find it much easier just grinding the quests out all at once rather than doing them bit by bit. So I just went on a huge spree of doing quests. I did Making History. After that I did the Roving Elves, which is pretty awesome because I get a crystal bow. The crystal bow is a decent weapon when I don't need to use my Carol's crossbow. After that I did Morning's End Part 1, which is a pretty chill quest really. Part 1's not that bad, doesn't take very long. Part 2 is the one that takes longer. The biggest thing that I hated on part 2 was this stupid shopping list. The amount of items that are so useless and so annoying to get on this list is kinda silly really. You have to get 50 different items, so it means you have to do 2 trips back here as well. On my second trip back here I did manage to get that Death Talisman. All of those items and all of that effort just for a Death Talisman. But then again, it's done now. I have a Death Talisman, I can put it in my Wicked Hood and we're all good. Morning's End Part 2's done. The maze isn't that bad to be honest. With a guide you can reflect the mirrors and everything. As long as you're told what to do, it makes that puzzle so easy. Huge props to the first person who ever done that puzzle though. They had some dedication. Taking a break from actually doing quests, I thought I'd go get a Yatui stick. I need to get 77 Hunter anyway. So I thought what better time to actually get the Yatui stick than now when the experience I get from this isn't even that bad for my level. Getting the Yatui stick you need to catch 1,000 of these Charming Sprites. It's not actually that bad really. It takes like an hour and a half to get 1,000 of them and then your Yatui stick upgrades. So now I got that Yatui stick enhanced, it's 5% more experience. This means if I go and do some crystallizing granules or something in the future, I'm going to be getting 5% more experience, which is really going to be super beneficial. I've been making sure to do my ports missions as soon as possible. I'm doing, 2 to 3 a day right now because they're about 6 hours a piece. But before that I was doing so many a day trying to get through the early levels as fast as possible. This is my 4th Eastern Scroll, which means I've fully unlocked my Sea Singer's Wand and Orb. It's so many materials to actually make the Sea Singer's Wand and Orb, but it is tier 85 when I do make it. So now I just got to focus on getting all of those materials for the Sea Singer Wand and Orb, and then hopefully I can get an awesome weapon for magic. But until then I could easily get a Sun Spear from River of Blood, and then that will make do until I can make the Sea Singers. After getting 75 construction and 74 prayer from doing shifting tombs, I just needed a tiny bit more prayer, so I used some of the bones and ashes in my bank on the Ectofunctus. This got me to 75 prayer, so that's ticked off for Prith. I also got the construction from the shifting tombs beforehand, so now it's only Herblore to go. There we go, so there's 75 Herblore and all of the quests required for Plague's End. Now it's just to do Within the Light, and we have Plague's End straight after that and we'll be in Prith. I quite enjoyed Within the Light to be honest. I don't like that many quests, but this quest is actually kind of enjoyable. The puzzles and stuff in it are quite interesting and pretty neat. Doing Plague's End, the boss I thought was going to be super hard turned out to be a literal walk in the park. He puts down those purple smoke clouds that deal damage if you stand in them, but he always does an auto attack, then a cloud, auto attack, then a cloud. So as soon as he's done his auto attack, you just move. You can see it forming underneath of you. It never ever hits you. I think by the end of these fights, I ate about 3 food, maybe 4. I even made a war tortoise especially for this quest because I was a little bit anxious on it. There was no need for it, and if I took a bunyip I probably wouldn't have had to have ate any food at all. You just had to repeat the fight like 5-6 times. Every time they gave you another one of those other shadow creatures. But Devotion stopped all magic damage from them anyway, so it was honestly not a big issue. Damn. It's raining outside and there was a lot of thunder, so if you heard that, apologies. But yeah, in general, this is such an easy boss fight, such an easy quest to be honest. Like I said, I don't actually mind the elf questline, but when it comes to a questline like the dwarves, I am not going to enjoy that one bit. I'm going to avoid the last one on the dwarf questline as much as possible. That quest is so easy to die on. I remember doing it on my main and dying, and I think on my hardcore Iron Man, I am not going to want to do that one. Anyway, enough rambling. That was Plague's End done. The boss was killed, nice and easy. And I got loads and loads of experience stamps for loads of different skills. Definitely one of the best quests in the game. So chuffed about this. Very good milestone for my Iron Man. First things first, when I got into Prif, I had to activate that lovely lodestone right next to the banks. It's also right next to the GE that I can't use. I guess I could buy a bond if I really wanted to. After doing the lodestone, it was straight to my new life. My new life is the harps. I'm going to be AFK in the harps for a long period of time. Going to collect loads and loads of dust and get loads of crafter levels as I need 89 for the light within anyway. Might as well AFK while doing stuff on the main and doing videos and things like that. It's just such a good thing to AFK on an Iron Man, and it's so easy to do. You click like once every 5 minutes. And that's it for this episode. Do give it a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new for loads of future content, including loads of guides and more progress videos. And until next time, see ya.